Hello everyone. We are here to represent our HR team, the Royal HR Recruiters. Today, I hope with this presentation you get the insight about how HR helps in the function of our organization. I am Piyush from the Royal HR Recruiters.
My name is Adel Fernandez. I am from Royal HR Recruiters.
My name is Aman Sheikh and I am from Royal HR Recruiter.
I am Nankusha Mandal from Royal HR Recruiters.
My name is Ronan Fernandez and I am from Royal HR Recruiters.
To understand first about HR, first let us understand about its history and the function, basic function of HR. It's explained by Eldon.
Welcome to the Royal HR Recruiters. So, we'll begin with the history of HRM. The history of human resource management begins around the end of the year 19th century. It was built on a simple idea by Robert Owen and Charles Babbage during the Industrial Revolution. These considered that people were crucial assets for the success of an organization. The basic functions of HR. Number one is planning. Planning is deciding in advance what to do, how to do, when to do, and by whom it is to be done. Planning involves setting objective and deciding in advance the proper course of action to achieve their objective. The second point is organization. The function is to organize the resources in such a way that the plan are achieved. For examples, grouping of personal activities into functions or positions, assigning different groups of activities in different individuals, coordinating activities of different employees. The third point is directing. Directing means giving instruction and guiding personnel in performing the work efficiently. It includes supervision, motivation, communication, and leadership. The fourth point is controlling. Controlling is the process of ensuring the actual activities match the planned activities. Controlling means comparison between the actual output and the planned output and to find out the reason for the deviation and taking the corrective measure to stop the deviation in future. So the important functions of HR. Number one, recruitment and selection. Recruitment of candidates and selecting the best one to come and work for the company is the key HR responsibility. When a new function is created or an existing job becomes available, the request for new employee normally begins. The job description is then sent to the HR by the direct manager and the HR begins seeking candidates. The next point is performance management. Performance management becomes a critical after staff are on board. The second HR fundamental is performance management. It initiates assisting employees being their best self of work, hence increasing the company's bottom line. Employees often have a list of obligations that they must fulfill. The next point is learning and development. Learning and development. People are the result of life experience, the place and the age in which they grow up, and variety of cultural influence. Learning and development in human resources ensures that personnel adapt in change in procedure, technology. Employees can reskill and upskill with their support of learning and development. The next point is compensation and benefits. Another one of HR basic compensation and benefits. Fair compensation is a key of motivating and retaining employees. One of the fundamental of human resources management concerning play is ensuring equity and fairness. So the example, the non-monetary incentives are all examples of secondary advantages. This might include more vacation time, flexible working hours, daycare, pensions, a corporate car and a laptop, and may other all benefits. In some cases, technological change has allowed HR professionals to take on more strategic roles, while in other cases, technology has simply allowed the HR professional to more effectively address the administrative tasks associated with their role. Thank you. Now I would like to call upon Piyush.
Thank you, Eldon. Now let's understand about human resource models. Human resource models helps us to explain the role of HR in the business and also how HR function in the business. There are many HR models present across the platform, and let's discuss about the main three HR models. First, the Michigan model. The Michigan model was the beginning of HR and its function. It is one of the most basic HR models, and it's also called as a hard model, as here employees were treated in a very minimal way. This model treats employees simply as resource for business. They recruit employees based on recruitment and requirement of the company. They also fire them accordingly. It has strong links with corporate business planning, where the selecting procedure resembles to that of business planning. What resource do we need? How do we get them? And how much will they cost? The reward system of this model depends basically on the performance of the employee. Now let's go to the Harvard model. This model is very important in the history of HR, as it was the first time more than 6 HR practices were included, which one of which is the interest of stakeholders, that is the employees, the shareholders, the business partners, and the investors. This model treats employees as a very important asset to the business and a source of competitive advantage. Employees are treated as individuals, as their needs are planned accordingly. As these two models are good example for HR models, our human resource management team basically focuses on the Ulrich model, as it is one of the most advanced models. It helped vastly in improving HR and resulting in hiring employees that are better educated and commercially minded. So now let's understand the Ulrich model, or also called as three-legged stool. The Ulrich model helps large complex organizations with many business units organize their human resource function. The Ulrich argues that role of human resource professional must be redefined to meet the competitive challenges of the modern business space. That is, organization must stop reviewing HR as an administrative tool and instead see it as a strategic tool. The Ulrich model is based on 3 basic functions of HR, that is shared service. Shared service means single unit of HR does the whole routine of HR roles across the business, which includes resourcing, advice, and payroll. The other one is Center of Excellence. Center of Excellence means the team of HR experts are present in the institution or the organization, and they help in problem solving. Next comes is strategic business partner. Strategic business partner includes senior HR professionals working closely with leaders, influencing and steering the strategy. The Ulrich model leads to improved HR with HR better skilled and more commercially focused. Most HR teams no longer still struggle to influence, for example, border level. Approach to talent manager and still add HOC and fragmented but will become better over the years. Internal structure and relationship of an organization is very important, as a good structure helps in the free flow of work of an organization. Normally contains many departments having good relationship with each other, which makes a good communication between all the departments. Thank you.
Now we have what is recruitment and selection. Recruitment is the process of finding the right candidate for the right job, whereas selection is the process of finding the most eligible person for offering the job. Here are some internal structure and relation within the organization. Here are some key points. First is employee relation, the relation between the employee and the employer. Second, compensation and benefit admin. where the admin work as in HR and provide some benefit to the employee like paternity leaves, bonus, and etc. Training and development. Training and development means updating the employee with the current trend. And the last but not the least, health and safety, where company provide some health insurance, life insurance, etc. to the employee. And here's the some concept of recruitment and selection. So let's start first with the recruitment process. Recruitment process is first identifying the hiring needs. Means finding the right person for the right position. Second is job description and job specification. Means analyzing the job duties that are there for the employee. Advertising is of two types. First is internal and the second one is external. Internal we have like transfer of employee, promotion of employee, and the second one we have external advertising. External advertising is of two types. First is traditional advertising and the second one is modern advertising. Traditional we have advertising, we have like a newspaper, magazine, and the modern advertising is like social media, LinkedIn and Facebook, Instagram. Now after that we have shortlisting. After this the all process is done, we have shortlisting. Shortlisting is the n number of CVs received by an organization. Then shortlisting is done so that the right person can be recruited for the right job. After this we have the selection process. Selection process is first is personal interview. Personal interview means direct interview with the HR and the person who's recruited. Second we have employee test. Employee test is like a psychometric test, aptitude test, and third we have checking reference like reference like relative, how the person is, and fourth we have physical examination. Physical examination is a long time process.
Now I'll be moving on with the best practice consideration for effective selection. So the first point is aim of appropriate selection. The main aim of selection is to choose the most suitable candidate who can meet the requirement of the job in an organization and therefore meeting the goal of an organization. It is important to evaluate various attributes of each candidate such as their qualifications, skills, experience, overall attitude, etc. In this process, the most suitable candidate is selected after the elimination of the candidates which are not suitable for the vacant job position. Therefore, the organization follows certain steps in order to eliminate the candidates who are not suitable for the job in the very first step. For example, if there is a vacancy for a chef and the candidate applying for that position doesn't have the required knowledge, skills, or good with the basics of the position, then he is not allowed to move on. The recruiter eliminates such candidates without wasting time. So moving on, we have key consideration during the selection process. So first we have the preliminary interview, wherein the lower level executives take the interview of the candidates. It is very important step as it shifts out all the unqualified and not desirable applicants, and the HR manager can then concentrate on the other applicants without wasting time. Secondly, we have the screening of applicants. These days, application forms of almost all organizations can be downloaded online or maybe even requested. The forms ask for basic things like educational qualification, experience, age, etc. Once the forms are filled, it moves on to the screening committee. It checks the details and calls the candidate for the selection. The purpose of this screening test is also to read out the not suitable candidate, as spending time on them means waste of money. Then we have is the employment test. Employment test refers to various tests that the organization takes up in order to select the right candidate, which include the intelligence test, aptitude test, proficiency test, etc. Then we have is the selection interview, wherein the candidate sits face to face with the selecting body and answers to the information given by the candidate about his abilities and the requirements of the job. Further, we have checking of references. Once the candidate interviews is over, the reference he has mentioned on the CV are being checked by the personnel department. His old employers may be asked for some quick questions on the phone about the candidate's behavior, co-workers, management, etc. Further, his regularity at work and his character can also be inquired as being mentioned in the references. Further, we have medical examination. After a candidate has been approved for his job, his physical fitness is examined by the medical specialist of the company. If the report says that he or she is medically fit for the job, they can then finally select. In case there is a problem with the fitness, the candidate are given reasons for rejection. Final selection. This is the final round which is being considered in the selection process, wherein the line managers are then asked to give the final decision after all technicals and medical tests are being cleared by the candidate. A true understanding between the line manager and the HR manager facilitates a good selection. Therefore, the two together take final decision, and therefore it helps in sending immediately the appointment letter to the selected person or after some time as the time schedule says. So the last point is talent planning and recruitment and selection policy that are being adopted by the hotels. To explain this better, I'll give you an example of the recruitment and selection process adopted by the Oberoi hotels. The Oberoi hotels first step they follow is the initial screening and the interview, which helps them to eliminate those who cannot move on further. Maybe because of their lack of knowledge, lack of skills, etc. Then they have is the online assessment. This test measures the competency level and the skills through the combination of personality assessment, behavior based on the assessment, and company adaptive logical reasoning assessment. Final interview. The next step is the final interview, wherein the final interaction with the hotel head and the corporate head. And lastly, the hotel closes all the documentation and the mutual acceptance is done. Last is the joining and onboarding, welcoming the candidate on board and induction into the company. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronan. Now I will be explaining about importance of equality and diversity in recruitment and selection. Equal opportunity can appear to be a complicated topic, and recruiters and employers may approach it from a defensive, legal, complicated and standpoints. Recruitment and selection must be done without any bias, and only talented should be considered. This helps the organization to get better outcomes. Equality Acts. It brings together over 116 separate pieces of legislation into one single act. The act provides a legal framework to protect the right of individual and advance equality of opportunity for all. It provides Britain with a discrimination law which protects individuals from unfair treatments and promotes a fair and more equal society. The four main pieces of legislation that have merged are the Equal Pay Act 1970, the Sex Discrimination Act 1975, the Race Relation Act 1976, the Disability Discrimination Act 1995. Recently, many hotels have started following this very strictly. The Lalit is one of the first hotel brands which start employing transgender, and they pledge on the Equality Act. Keshav Suri, Executive Director of the Lalit Hotel chain, said it begins from a very basic concept, such as not assuming that if two men are checking in out together, they have to provide with two beds, and changing the concept of a couple, which people still define as a man and woman together. Everyone is different, and unless employers take diversity seriously, they will fail to recruit, retain, and engage the commitment of the talent needed to sustain and improve performance. Having diversity in your workplace helps in many ways. It helps in providing insights on topics from different people. This can help in finding the best outcomes. It helps in creating a comfort workplace for all employees. So these are 6 benefits of diversity in workplace. First is easy troubleshoot, where varied perspectives attract the best talent, improve profit and revenue, drive employee engagement, push global reputation. Thank you.
Thank you, Nandkishore. Now I'll be explaining ethical consideration, recruitment and selection. Consumer and other types of market players have a fundamental degree of confidence in firms. Thanks to business ethics, a portfolio manager, for example, must evaluate the portfolios of family members and small individual investors in the same way. These measures guarantee the general population is treated fairly. These are examples of business ethics: truth, honesty, social responsibility, good behavior, follow laws, never mislead. Corporate social responsibility (CSR) refers to a business practice that involves participating in initiative that gives benefits to the society. CSR is about how company manage the business process to produce an overall positive impact on society. Corporate social responsibility is the continuing commitment by business to behave ethically and contribute to economic development while improving the quality of the workforce. CSR: environmental, social and governance issue, cooperative accountability, responsible investment, responsible business, corporate sustainability, corporate citizenship, sustainability, corporate responsibility, triple bottom line, creating shared value are some examples of CSR. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. We hope you understood the importance of human resource management for your organization, and I hope this information is enough for you to select the correct HR team for your company.
Thank you.
Thank you.